Hello guys, Robert Visitation here and welcome back to the channel again. Good to have you back. Today we're going to go over that right cross. The right cross. You know, the jab and the cross are the foundation of boxing. And whether we're boxing, whether we're competing in Muay Thai or kickboxing, if we ever plan on competing at that higher level, we're going to have a good solid boxing foundation. Now, today I'm going to go over the 4 common mistakes that I'm seeing, and if you hang on later in the video, I'll show you a good way to correct that right cross. All right, so number 1 is punching with the wrong knuckles. The right cross is intended to be thrown and connecting with these 2 knuckles right here. Okay, your middle finger and your index finger, and we're strong. And if we hit with a lot of power, like that right hand is supposed to be, and we hit on this knuckle here, or maybe these last 2 knuckles, those are small bones right there, and it's easy to fracture those bones. So make sure when we're throwing that right cross that we're hitting with those 2 knuckles right there. Okay. Now, typically that right cross is preceded by a jab most of the time. Now, when we're throwing that jab and then we throw that cross, we just need to make sure our hands stay home. Here at VFit House of Champions, that's all you hear us talking all day. Hands home, hands home. Because your body mechanics, after you throw that jab, your body mechanics just wants to go ahead and let that hand go down by the side, and there's nothing protecting this side of your face. So make sure our hands go home, right back home when we're throwing that cross. Right back home when we're throwing that cross. And not really just the cross, but any punch that we are going to throw, our hands should always come right back home every time, as you see in that little demonstration there. Now, the other thing is telegraphing this punch. You see so many people throw that jab and they rear back to throw that hard right cross like they're going to get more power in it there. But really what that does is that limits your percentage or drops your percentage in landing that right cross the way that you're hoping to, with the power that you're hoping to as well. So when we are throwing that right cross also, let me back up a little bit so you see the hips. We're going to throw the jab. That jab's going to come back home. And as we start to push, we're going to push off that back toe, but we're also going to engage our hips in here. We're going to engage our hips. So you throw that jab, and then you throw that right hand. You throw that jab, you push off that back toe, and you engage that right hip, if you're conventional, that right hip, while you're throwing that right hand, okay? Now, the other thing is, I guess the 4th is the chicken wing. The chicken wing. When we're standing in a boxing stance or kickboxing stance, whichever, we throw the jab. So many people raise that arm up and not necessarily rear back like we talked about before, but they raise that arm up to throw that out. And I call that the chicken wing right there. So make sure when you're throwing this, you jab and you throw that cross straight out with little telegraph, and not throwing that chicken wing out there so that they see that coming there as well. The best thing that we can do when we're trying to strike is the quickest point from A to B. So your jab, bam, your cross. Your jab, bam, your cross. Your jab, bam, your cross, right? Not boom, bow, like that, or not, bam, chicken wing, and then throw it out there as well. Okay, guys? So we're going to work on, I said I've got an exercise for you to work on to help improve that right hand, and we'll get to that right now. So here we are. What we're going to do is we're going to find a wall, and we're going to put, if you're right-handed, you're going to put your right shoulder against that wall. If you're left-handed, you're going to put that left shoulder against the wall, okay? But what we're going to do is this is going to help you be able to use and almost make you use your hips involved to be able to get more power out of that punch. It's also going to stop you from doing that chicken wing, because your arm's going to hit the wall and it's not going to be able to do it. So if you can sit up here, you can throw your jab and then whop, throw that right hand. Throw the jab, whop, and then throw that right hand. Or you can just sit here and put this hand down and just start getting muscle memory on there, using your hips when you're starting to punch. Make sure when you're throwing this one, you're kind of shrugging the shoulder over here on this right side. shrugging that shoulder on the right side so you don't take a good left hook or something right there on the chin. But a good exercise is to sit here and do this maybe 50 times or 100 times. Pop, pop, pop. And then that makes it easier when you get out and you don't have that wall, pop, there you're throwing it, boom, that you're throwing it there with a lot of power because you're engaging that right hand, that right hip, and you're not using that chicken wing and throwing that chicken wing out there and making that right hand telegraphed as well. So, guys, I appreciate you hanging around till now. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You'll be able to see all the other videos that we have as well. And like the video if you found it helpful. Until next time, hurrah!